Yeah. What is up? Welcome to another episode of Big Kid with Will Bryant. I'm your host. I'm Will Bryant. Excuse me. I just took a big swig of this iced coffee I have here with whipped cream and sprinkles on top. Pink and blue sprinkles. And I kind of got some sprinkles caught in my throat. What a way to start the episode off. With pink and blue sprinkles caught in my throat. What's up, guys? How we doing? Thanks for tuning in. Trying to get this show a little bit back on track in terms of the scheduling. So, if you remember, I put an episode out on a Saturday, then a Friday. Now we'll go back to Thursday. I'm recording this on a Wednesday, like a super responsible podcaster. Look at me. Look at your boy. If you are looking at me on YouTube, you see the getup. And for you guys listening, let me describe it. It is very pink. I've got my pink hoodie, which is actually a cutoff. You can see my belly here. It has woman emblazoned on the chest. And I've got, as a last minute addition, my Val told me that I needed to wear these pink sunglasses as well to finish the ensemble. Why? Why am I wearing all this pink? I'll give you one good reason as I enjoy this iced latte, because I do have work later. Your boy's being responsible. I saw the Barbie movie yesterday, so I've got pink on the brain, you know. More on that in just a minute. In just a couple of minutes. I've been chilling though this past week. Been a good week. Have you guys seen that? I'm really enjoying the whipped cream addition to my iced coffee. Dave Chappelle announced that he's gonna be in Madison Square Garden coming pretty soon, and it makes sense because I've been seeing him pop in to the Comedy Cellar. He was there a couple of days last month, one day with Chris Rock. And he was there twice this past week. He was there Sunday and then again Monday. He wasn't performing at the Cellar on Sunday, but he did drop by. He was at the New York Comedy Stand, I think Sunday, and then Monday he dropped by at one of our locations there. And it looks like he's tuning up for a Madison Square Garden show. It's pretty cool. I was just talking about this yesterday. Val was asking me, like, would you pay to like go see him at the Garden? I was like, I don't know, probably not. I mean, I literally just saw him on Sunday. He didn't perform, but I did serve him a tequila. So yeah, dropping like $200 to see him at Madison Square Garden when I kind of see him in person now, just chilling. Not sure about that one. I did just pay to go see Kevin Hart. What is it, about a month ago now? Maybe a little bit longer. I never see him around, so I guess that's kind of the difference there. You hear that? You hear that? That's the sound of an iced latte with whipped cream and sprinkles. I should feel more shame for enjoying this as much as I am on air, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm just in that mood. So yeah, anyways, I've seen him around the past 2 days, 2 times I was there. So he's gearing up. He's flexing those comedy muscles, you know. Wonder if anybody I know is gonna go check him out in MSG. Sure, I'm sure some of you will. Man, that day that he was there, I was working Sunday. It was actually still a really chill night. He left early to go do a set, and then as the night's wrapping up, one of my coworkers like came up with the bloodiest hand and had to go get stitches. I felt so bad for him. That's like literally my nightmare as a bartender. Is if like on the last thing I'm doing in the night, after I call last call, I cut my hand and have to go get stitches. I'd be so annoyed. Well, first of all, I'd probably cry, and then I'd be annoyed. But yeah, you have to go get stitches. During that, pretty chill day. Chappelle came in, boy got stitches, still a chill night. On my way home that night, I remember seeing a pair of Jordans, like on the sidewalk, a block away from where I live here in Bushwick, and I did not like even stop. I didn't give it like a second thought. I was like, nope, I am not picking those. They're like blue Jordans, I think the fours. And I was like, those shoes are on a Bushwick sidewalk for good reason. Like, somebody pissed on them. There's poop in them. I don't know. Like, there's just no way that I think a sidewalk pair of Bushwick Jordans are safe to take home. Yeah, nah, I don't know. Would you, if you guys are walking home, mind you, I'm walking home at 3:30 in the morning. If you see a pair of Jordans on the sidewalk at 3:30 in the morning, are you getting closer to like examine them further? Are you sticking your face in them to see if they maybe smell awry? I just kept walking. I didn't want someone to be watching like, oh, look, someone's walking up to the Jordans. Someone's walking up to the Jordans. Just kept walking by those Bushwick Jordans. Why would someone just leave a pair of Jordans? It wasn't like they were hanging from the power cords, you know? My dad once told me that means that there's a drug dealer there nearby. And for years, I thought that was exactly what that meant. And I realized later that was probably one of those things that he's made up throughout his life. I mean, like, the odds are pretty good that there is a drug dealer within the vicinity, but I don't think that that's specifically what that meant. I don't think that someone posted up on the corner and had a bunch of like weed and crack on them and was struggling to move the product. And then he just looked around. He's like, you know what the problem is here? Ain't nobody know I'm up for business. I got an idea. As he looks up at the power cables above, he's like, I know exactly how to announce to the world that your boy is in business. And he goes home and grabs a pair of his sneakers and ties them together at the laces. He looks up at that power cord and starts slinging those Jordans around. And then flings it up there. Perfect shot. They start hanging. He's like, now the world will know that I'm drug dealing on this corner. And then business was booming, my friend. As a child, I remember like my dad was driving around the car and he would point that out. He's like, that means there's a drug dealer. Why I never questioned that shit. Just took it as fact. Like an idiot. So I did not take those Jordans home. I don't know if they're probably not still there. I gotta believe that someone peed. I don't know why I'm obsessed with the fact that I think someone peed on them. The how good does a sneaker have to be for you to take them home and then wash them and be like, well, if they were peed on, then I at least cleaned them off. Like, how dope does a sneaker have to look for you to be like, they might have been peed on, but I'll take my chances. I don't know if there's a shoe out there like that for me. I've never really been in, like, no offense to anyone that is into the shoe culture, the sneaker game, whatever. I've never really been into it. And I think my wallet and my bank account thanks me for that. I buy stupider things, like toys. So, who am I to judge you sneakerheads? But yeah, I don't really collect or buy sneakers. So I guess there's no sneaker I could see on a Bushwick sidewalk that would make me want to pick it up and take it home. I would just be thinking Every time I wore it, I have my feet in like urine. I've got piss right now on both my feet. No matter how many times I put that shit in the wash. Do you even put sneakers that nice in a washing machine? I'm sure there's people out there that never put their sneakers in a washing machine that are looking at me like I'm a savage, but whatever. So here I am. Here I am. I got this hot pink hoodie on for a reason. I did see Barbie yesterday. It's the only time in my 3-year relationship with my girlfriend that she's ever bought the tickets for a movie. So, tells you how much she wanted to see it. I've taken her to a lot of bad movies too. Like we saw Black Adam. We saw Batman in theaters. I fell asleep. I was really excited for that. I fell asleep like 5 minutes in. What else have we seen? I mean, I like the Fast and Furious movies, but we saw that. I should still be apologizing for taking her to Black Adam. I'm sorry. I thought it was gonna be good. But we saw the Barbie movie yesterday. Teddy joined us. Monica joined us. Chanel joined us. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was not really what I expected. Even as I was watching it, I kept thinking it was gonna go a certain way and it wouldn't, or and it didn't. And I don't really mean that as a negative. I just mean it. I mean it in. I guess it wasn't as predictable of a story as I thought it may have been or would have been. I was thoroughly entertained. This is the loudest drink I've ever had on this podcast. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a Margot Robbie fan, but that's probably because I'm a DC fanboy. I mean, I have a toy of her right up here. When she played Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad. In fact, she's chilling up there with John Cena and Idris Elba. And I don't know the name of the guy that played Polka Dot Man. And Sylvester Stallone actually did the voice for King Shark, but that's neither here nor there. John Cena had a cameo in the Barbie movie too. Do 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 do. I was so annoyed. I kept doing that yesterday on the way to the train, to the subway, to go see the movie. She almost didn't take me to the movies. But I was excited to see the John Cena cameo. You hear me chewing the sprinkles, don't you? This is the most obnoxious drink of all time. I apologize, guys. Not really, because I'm enjoying it. But still, I get it. It's obnoxious. And I'm drinking it out of a beer mug. How more obnoxious can I be? Iced coffee with whipped cream and pink and blue sprinkles out of a beer mug. Shameless. As I talk about the Barbie movie. Deal with it. I'm a Margot fan. I love her as Harley Quinn. I don't know if she's gonna play that role anymore. Probably not. They're probably recasting everything. Even though James Gunn did direct the Suicide Squad movie. I thought she was quite perfect in the Harley Quinn role. But, I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. But I was a fan of her from then. Let's see. Have I seen her in, like, other things? I feel like I have. Can't really think of them in the moment. She's obviously talented, and I thought it came through in the movie a lot. I did not expect to be, to have my emotions played with as much as they were yesterday during the movie. I was laughing out loud through a lot of it. Entertained as fuck. I really enjoyed it. I remember thinking as I was watching the movie, like, oh, I could definitely like, I can imagine the type of dude that watches this, or maybe not even watches it, but just envisions or thinks or believes they know what the movie's about and just getting angry. Did you guys see that? That guy Ben Shapiro had like a 43-minute review where he skewers Barbie. He's like this, kind of like right wing, talker, podcast host, influencer, whatever. And lately he's been getting more and more into like pop culture commentary, I feel like. And look, the only reason why this dude had a 43-minute diatribe railing against Barbie, which, by the way, included him burning. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I was saying that wrong. It included him burning a Barbie doll, like in a garbage can or something like that. This is how extreme this guy got. This is how much he hated the movie. Excuse me, I need more iced coffee. 43. I mean, the movie was like an hour and a half long, right? Something like that. Maybe a little bit longer. This guy had 1 minute of hate for every 2 minutes of movie there was. He hated it. It's funny because he starts off holding like a Barbie doll in one hand and an atomic bomb, or like a miniature atomic bomb in the other hand. But I had to do a double take because it looks like he's holding a Barbie doll in one hand, but then it looks like he's holding a butt plug in the other. And it's not like he explains, like, I have here a Barbie doll and I have here an atomic bomb. No, he's just standing there with a doll and a butt plug to kick off this weird video of 43 minutes of cringe. I had to, like, do a double take to realize he's holding an atomic bomb. Why? Because Oppenheimer also opened that weekend. So I guess the man that is so afraid of a Barbie movie had to like give us explicit imagery as to which movie you should be seeing this weekend, according to him. Now, look, I am aware of what I look like right now. I see what you see. I am here wearing a cut-off bright pink hoodie with the word woman across my chest and these rose-colored glasses here. Obviously, I'm not the, pinnacle of masculinity, perhaps. I'm not this paradigm of what you guys probably think a man should be or look like. I've never really cared about that. So I get that maybe I'm not the most forward voice amongst men to be talking about the Barbie movie, because I'm the type of dude that thinks that if you had a problem with the Barbie movie, that you probably have deeper problems than just those 90 minutes of film. I feel like you're the type of person that can't take a joke that probably would struggle if you were at a roast. Self-awareness probably lacking. Because the movie, make no mistake about it, the movie is not a subtle commentary, but it's a huge, obvious commentary on the patriarchy, the status of men, basically the control men have on the world. Although, women are perhaps gaining more control than they ever have, it's still but a fraction compared to how much I guess power and pull and control in this world men have. And look, I'm a dude. I have no problem admitting that. What am I gonna be like blind to that? I'm gonna be willfully ignorant to the fact that men kind of control more things in this world than women do. I'm not gonna. I would love a white man to just be like, no. This is all a myth. White people do not run shit more than any other race in this world, and men don't run shit more than any other sex in this world. All right. If anything, minority women run the world. Come on, I don't. If a dude is watching that movie and is just getting pissed, I mean, I don't know, lighten up. Ben Shapiro went 43 minutes just hating on it after holding up a butt plug to introduce his video. You know what I always find kind of contradictory? You know that word snowflake? Obviously, you know the word. You ever heard of a snowflake? No, let me explain it. Well, yeah, look, snowflake obviously isn't just what falls in the winter. Now, the word snowflake means somebody that, I guess, like, complains too much about stuff that, you know, doesn't need to be complained about. I don't know. You usually hear it. Snowflake is a term that has kind of been adopted by the conservatives, the right-wing people. They'll usually call someone liberal or left-wing a snowflake. You know, like if they're upset about, it's usually in relation to something, you know, that they would deem quote unquote woke, you know. So if a liberal was upset about something revolving the LGBTQIA community, or whether a woman would be, you know, upset about something revolving around sexism or feminism, someone on the right might call one of them a snowflake for being all riled up about something that they really shouldn't be that riled up at all to begin with. I always find it ironically entertaining when the type of people that use the term snowflake most end up embodying snowflake behavior more than anybody else. Case in point, is there more snowflake behavior than a grown man like Ben Shapiro watching a film about Barbie and then responding to it by burning a doll in a garbage can during a 43-minute negative review about it? Isn't that kind of excessive? Isn't that a little dramatic? Now, who am I to gaslight you, Ben Shapiro? But it seems like you should maybe just stop being such a snowflake about Barbie. Use that atomic butt plug. Relieve some of that tension. You don't need this stress in your life. Do you remember the whole Bud Light quote unquote controversy? Because they came out with a can for I know, I only know her name is Dylan. I forgot the I think it's Dylan at least. The whole transgender influencer. They gave her a can with her likeness on it. I guess it was part of like an ad campaign, and the right wingers went crazy, and they got so mad. Bud Light, I'm pretty sure Bud Light sales plummeted. But I remember seeing a video of Kid Rock in like a field, and he bought, unless he stole a bunch of Bud Light, but he bought a bunch of Bud Light, like cases of it. So already gave money to the company and said that he's no longer drinking Bud Light. He's only buying it for protest purposes, apparently. He's no longer drinking Bud Light because I guess they gave a can with to a transgendered person with her likeness on it. They didn't. He doesn't like. I don't know that Bud Light is using a transgender person in their ad campaign. Perhaps I think that's what it is. Whenever someone gets mad about something revolving gay, transgender issues or whatever, they always throw in the leave my kids alone, leave my family alone thing. So I think Kid Rock said something about leave my kids alone. What are you teaching our kids? What are you teaching our kids? Now watch me blow this up with my gun. Turns around and lights up Bud Light. It's a better lesson for kids out there. Shoot beer cans with an AK or an AR to relieve anger and stress. Now, far be it for me, this Bushwick pink woman sweater wearing podcast, I said podcast host to have an opinion on this, but is it not snowflake behavior to buy cases of beer and then continue to unload a clip of your AR-15 into it because you're mad at a commercial? Isn't that a bit extreme? Isn't that a bit dramatic? Is that not snowflake behavior and mentality? You make fun of the left for being triggered and for being snowflakes, and then turn into snowflakes every time you're triggered. You can't do both. Now, hey, don't get me wrong. I see the left too. I mean, I am obviously more leftist than rightist. Doesn't mean I don't see when the left does dumb shit too. Yeah, we definitely have some snowflakes, but I mean, Barbie and Bud Light, that's what sets you guys off, huh? Just, pot kettle black type things, that's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Barbie's exposing a lot of Kid Rock fans that happen to be snowflakes as well. Let's just say that. I remember when I was younger, when TRL was a thing, and Kid Rock came out with Ba with the Ba. Ba with the ba, the bang, diggy, 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 said the boogie, said up, jump the boogie. Yeah, I know none of that. I know the whole chorus, and not one part of that is like a real word. I guess up jump the boogie is. Ba with the ba, the bang, diggy, 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 said the boogie, said up jump the boogie. That is the chorus of Ba with the ba. When asked, what does Ba with the ba mean? If I remember correctly, I've done no research on Kid Rock today. I remember from an episode of TRL that I think he said it was some type of like rally cry at his old high school or something. That they used to say "ba with the ba" is like some type of, I don't know. I think it was like to hype up the school or whatever. I think that's what it was. And he took that and made it into a song years later. Ba with the ba, the bang, diggy, 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 said the boogie, said up, jump the boogie. That shit was that song. Listen, I know, Kid Rock has gone off like the deep end a little bit right now. But that song was My Name is Kid. Kid Rock, the bang, take it, set the boogie, set up, jump the boogie, with the bang. Do you remember what was that festival from hell in the 90s? Woodstock. Kid Rock at Woodstock yelling, Kid Rock, bang the boogie. I know that was one of the worst planned festivals of all time. And I know a lot of bad shit went down in that festival, but that like video, that performance, that kind of gave me goosebumps. Them and Limp Bizkit at that festival. I only remember this because I saw that whole documentary on it being a shit show. But anyways, I was into Kid Rock back in the day. Ba with to ba. Cowboy bang bang, cowboy baby. He put on that dude, Uncle Kracker. Remember Uncle Kracker? Oh, what was his song? It was super. He had one hit, and it was. I don't know where you left me. You know that song. Even though I barely got any of the lyrics. You know that song. Oh, how's that go? Don't know where you left me. Follow me and everything's alright. Got it. Follow me and everything's alright. I'm being one to tuck you in. You guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. Yeah, he even put on Uncle Kracker, so we got that song because of him. Kid Rock had a couple of hits in a row from that album. He was in the game for a while. He was a DJ in the Detroit hip hop scene. So he actually was like in. You could say that Kid Rock grew to fame, appropriating the shit out of black culture. Then, years later, had a excuse me. Years later, had a comeback. A resurgence, but it was more centered around a different type of fan, a different type of audience, you know? It was a little bit more, let's just say they were very happy that America was becoming great again type of crowd, you know? And here's the thing, when you look back at those concerts of Kid Rock back in the day when he was doing, he had what are those flags? The Southern flags? I'm forgetting what it is. He had those the Union flags. Is that what it is? And he would hang them up. He had them hung up on the huge like side of his at each side of his stage. So it was always there. I guess there was less Confederate flag. There you go. Jesus Christ. The Union is the good one. Anyways, he had the Confederate flags hanging on either side of the stage at some of his shows. He just leaned into it more when he realized it was, making him more money. He wasn't so much the hip hop influenced dude anymore. Now he was making songs that were more like poppy country. I mean, he sampled that Sweet Home Alabama. We're smoking funny things. So he's not that dude anymore. He's the same people that, go out to go see a Luke Bryan concert or something like that. Hey man, even in that episode where I gave Morgan Wallen all of that love, we talked about he dropped that N-bomb, so that crowd. There's some artist, James Aldean, I think. He recently came out with a song called like not in my town or some shit like that, or not try that in a small town. And it's literally like a response to, as he would call it, like the Black Lives Matters riots or whatever. And look, he knows who his crowd is. He knows who he's performing to, and Kid Rock knows this as well too. He's really leaned into that type of crowd, that type of fandom. I always find it funny when Trump like lists off the celebrities that he has in his corner. It's like, yeah, I've got real people like Kid Rock, like Kevin Sorbo, like Rob Schneider, and Scott Baio. That's my Mount Rushmore of celebrities. And then the liberals just have, all right, well, I guess we'll take everyone else. This is the most unfair draft ever. I would love to just... Donald Trump has to be the worst fantasy football player of all time, perhaps. He would have the first overall pick, and he would draft who was that who was that wide receiver? Andrew Riley, is that his name? The wide receiver on the Eagles that got caught at it all comes full circle. He got caught at a country music singer concert. This wide receiver got caught at a country music concert blasting the N-word, just yelling it. I think he said F these N-bombs, if I'm not mistaken. That's who Donald Trump would draft first overall. He would then be like, is Kevin Sorbo, has he ever played in the NFL? Can I draft him? He would have drafted Tom Brady first overall if Tom was still like all MAGA. But I think I heard that that Tom Brady regrets like ever having that "Make America Great Again" hat in his locker. Do you guys remember that? Do you even remember that? I was looking up the wide receiver for the Eagles, and I ended up typing Donald Trump. See what comes up when I say racist. Riley Cooper. Boom. Racist wide receiver. You know you fucked up in life when I can type in racist wide receiver, and out comes Riley Cooper caught on tape saying a racial slur at Kenny Chesney country music concert. And then the second link is Riley Cooper's Wikipedia. Yep. New York Times. Eagles receiver Cooper apologizes for using racial slur at a country music concert. You don't really see that at the Wu-Tang concert. METHOD, man. Fuck these. You don't see that. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. And fuck these. Nope, that doesn't happen at the Wu-Tang concert. It happens at these other concerts. She think my track this sexy. Fuck these. That's when you see that. Donald Trump, first pick, Andrew or Cooper Riley. Bang. If Donald Trump was making a movie, it would star Scott Baio and Kevin Sorbo and Gina Carano and James Woods. And the score would be done by Kid Rock. And that movie sounds like it would be incredible. If you ask me. I don't know. As I sip the end of my iced latte over here. Point made, right? I used to like Kid Rock too. I didn't know. I had no idea what a Confederate flag was back then. So I didn't know what it meant when he was hanging them up. Snowflake. I love calling people a snowflake when they're usually the ones that would call someone else a snowflake. I like that because it really pisses them off. Like nothing makes them be more snowflake than being called a snowflake. Do it. Try it. Also, why do what is it like they adopt insults for their side? Like snowflake is one of theirs, and you notice cuck is a big one in conservative communities. Mostly with the males in the conservative communities, correct? Like they call everyone a cuck. Cuck, short for cuckold, meaning like you're cool with seeing your significant other be plowed by someone else in front of you. That's what a cuckold is. So cuck, they're calling you. If I say something, if like I will, I could be called a cuck for being pro Barbie. I'm making fun of the people that didn't like the Barbie movie. And that would probably make me a cuck in their eyes. What else? Simp. Is simp? I think simp is more of like the liberal retort. So if I were to be called a cuck by someone on the right, someone on the left would be like, don't listen to that simp. Or what's the other one? When you're like not having sex but not by choice. You're not abstinent. I forgot what they call that. It's another word. It's kind of used as an insult. Let's see, sex, no sex, or abstinent. Not absinthe, abstinence, but not by choice. How do I find out can't get laid? Incel. Damn, there you go. An incel, right? Because of celibate. That's what it is. Incel is an action racing game. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Incel is an action/racing game with a bit of strategy and bioscience thrown into the mix in a rare and highly unusual micro world of the carefully recreated human cell. Totally not what I was looking for. No, I thought it was something about incel a bit. Incel culture? What is... No, all right, give me... How do you even spell incel? Incelibate? Right? Celibates. This is highly intriguing podcasting right here. Me trying to figure out the deal with incels. Incel celebrities? I don't want to know that, actually. I'm good off that. Incel celibates. Is there really a game called Incel? And then involuntary celibate. That's how you get the term incel. Okay, so incel is INCEL, and then the video game is just add one more L. That's a very dangerous name for a video game. I wonder how successful that video game is. The incel of involuntary celibate subculture is an online subculture of people who define themselves as unable to get a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one. Discussions in incel, there's whole forums for it. Discussions in incel forums are often characterized by resentment, misogyny, misanthropy. Is it misanthropy? Misanthropy? Self-pity and self-loathing, racism, a sense of entitlement to sex, and the endorsement of violence against women and sexually active people. See, this is, I guess we've adopted, I am more left than right, so I guess we on the left I don't call anybody, I do call snowflakes, never mind, I take that back. But I guess we've also adopted incel. You guys have cuck and snowflake. We do incel, and I guess simp. I think simp is a left to right zinger, right? Or is simp just used now by both sides? Is that a good enough word for both sides? incels do seem to describe a lot of just toxic male traits there, don't they? Misogyny, self-pity, and self-loathing. Maybe I'm an incel. A sense of entitlement to sex, and the endorsement of violence against women and sexually active people. Imagine sexually active people just pissing you off. You're having sex. Fuck you. You little snowflake and incels over there. I'd imagine incels are the type of people that got mad about the Barbie movie. Why would that piss people off? I was watching that movie and I remember like I had moments where I was like, oh man, that must suck. You know, when they were painting or just showing ways of I guess how unfair things can be or are for women. There were moments where they showed that in their unique and I thought poignant Barbie little way of doing it. And I had moments where I was like, oh man, that does suck. That would be terrible. And I guess thankfully I can look at something like that and not be upset, not be annoyed, not feel rage. Cause to watch that movie and feel attacked, I don't know. I don't get it. I felt entertained, but like I got it. Like I get what the message is not subtle. Like I said before, this isn't. You don't have to discuss this on Reddit with other people to try to find out what the meaning behind everything was. No. It was obvious that it's all about how the world is pretty unfair to women a lot of times, even though they've come so far. And well, I mean, it's also obviously about the empowering of women, overcoming and dealing with these obstacles. I never felt like I have seen things in the past where I was like, all right, they're really just hammering a message over like your head, and it does take away from the film. I can see that a little bit if you wanted to say that, but at that point, it should just take away from your enjoyment of the film to enrage you. I don't know. I can be turned off by a movie because I thought that the message was perhaps not successfully portrayed, was not conveyed well enough. I can see that, but I'm not gonna then get up and be so upset with the movie that I'm gonna buy a product just to light it on fire or light it up with bullets. It's a bit much. It's a bit dramatic. Let's dial it back a little bit, Dial it back. I'm glad that my girl bought tickets to go see it. I love watching movies at home because of look, I'm getting a little lazy. Maybe I'm getting to that age where I just really appreciate a good night at home sometimes. Maybe it's my work schedule, the fact that I am out till 4 a.m. often if I am working. So, those days at home recovering feel really nice. I was talking to a coworker like a week or two ago, and somehow we got onto the conversation of how I probably, if I were, being more fiscally responsible, on paper I should probably be spending less for rent. I should probably be finding a spot where that's a couple of $100 less than what I'm paying per month here. But the thing, I said that to my coworker, and her response was, well, do you go out a lot, or do you spend a lot of time at home? And I was like, I used to go out a lot, but not really now. No, me and my girl, we're huge proponents of just staying in and watching a movie. Like, to us, a new movie is one that goes when it's available on streaming, not when it drops in theaters. And I think part of that is that, I bought like a typical dude. The first thing I ever bought when I moved in here was an 80-inch TV. I think, no, maybe it's like 78, something like that, 76. But, around almost 80. I wish it was 80. I wish it was 82. Damn it, I wish it was 82. Anyways, I have a huge TV. Love using it, love watching shit on it. So when something drops on like streaming, like that to me is like, yes, time to enjoy this thing. You know what's funny? I was at the theater yesterday watching Barbie, and there was a moment where Val turned to me and was like, can they put the volume up or something? Like, I felt like it wasn't loud enough. Whereas at my place, I never have to go to the max volume to feel like I'm there, Like, I actually felt like it wasn't loud enough. Barbie was not loud. I needed louder Barbie. So yeah, I'm glad that we did go out for that, but I don't know about, I wouldn't want to go. I love Christopher Nolan, but something about going to a movie theater and sitting down for 3 hours feels like a lot right now. I mean, like, I don't know if I'd even want to do it for a movie like Avatar, where there's at least more action going on. Oppenheimer's just a 3-hour drama. And I don't know if I've got that in me right now, man. I'll watch it the moment it becomes available to stream, But 3 hours at a movie theater? I don't know. I mean, in the beginning of this year, I thought I was going to see Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania in the movie theater. I thought I was going to see Guardians of the Galaxy in the movie theater. I thought I was going to see Fast and Furious X. Is that what we're up to now? I thought I was going to see that in the movie theater. And I didn't see any of those in the movie theater. I thought maybe I would even see Flash in the movie theater. And that's before DC started plummeting more and more throughout the year. But I didn't see any of those in the theater. I saw Quantumania the day it started streaming. I saw I thought maybe I would even see Creed 3, but no. Saw that once it started streaming. Guardians of the Galaxy still hasn't dropped on Disney Plus, but it's dropping really soon, so I'm about to see that. I don't go out I paid to see Fast X the moment it became available. Didn't even go see that, and that's one of my favorite franchises. But yeah, we went to go see Barbie. It feels like Barbie has become this little like phenomenon, at least in this for this year in 2023. And part of me kind of just wanted to be a part of that. The fact that like Barbie is the biggest movie of the year in a year that had 2 Marvel movies already, in a year that has had two DC movies, in a year that Tom Cruise dropped a Mission Impossible movie, and on the very same weekend that Christopher Nolan dropped an epic World War II movie. Not really a World War II movie, but about World War II, with the crazy cast. I mean, Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Christopher Nolan directing. Like, that's in a year with all that. Barbie is blowing everything away. That's kind of nuts to me, and I'm actually pretty happy about it. One, I'm happy for Margot Robbie, because like I said earlier in the show, I think she's pretty awesome. 2, I also just love it for the. I don't know if it was predicted to do that well. I know that there's probably a lot of people on the right that thought that it wasn't going to do well because for all the reasons that I guess they hated the movie anyways. For they thought it was too woke, too much of a pandering job for like women or whatever. But it that's not the case at all. It has been supported by women and by men. And I kind of just like the fact that it's something, I guess, not perfectly following the blueprint of what's supposed to be the box office smash in Hollywood. I mean, when I heard that they were making a Barbie movie, I remember feeling very, what's the word? Definitely curious, and put it this way: if I were a fan of Barbie growing up, and I heard that they were making a movie about it, I would be excited, but also nervous. I can't say that I felt nervous for the Barbie movie because I had nothing invested in it. But I'm sure this is how Marvel and DC fans felt in the early stages of comic books. Like if you were really into I don't know, X-Men or Spider-Man during the Hugh Jackman, Tobey Maguire days, and the movie was coming out, like you'd be excited, but maybe even a little bit nervous because you hope they don't fuck it up. I think with the Barbie movie, the same thing could probably be said for Transformers. If you were really into Transformers as a kid, and then the Michael Bay movie comes out, or you hear the announcement like they got the Shia LaBeouf kid and Michael Bay to do the movie, you're like, what the fuck? All right, let's hope. With Barbie, I think the nervousness that a fan might have had going into it is a little bit more understandable in my opinion, because if you are a fan of like Spider-Man or Transformers, there are stories already there put in place that just really need to be translated to film, and then boom, you should have a hit. You just need someone to not fuck it up. With Barbie, it's not like Barbie had a comic or like this epic story or origin story that they could go into. So Barbie had the big name, it had the big, the IP was there, the property, intellectual property was there, and it was huge. But not to make an entire movie out of that, I was more curious as to how than anything else. And look, when they started coming out with the commercials for it, and I saw that it was kind of embracing the, I don't know, the campiness behind the toy, like it realized that part of the movie succeeding as a comedy was that it had to be okay with the Barbie lines themselves being part of the joke, not just part of the joke, but at times the punchline of the joke. Like, hell, there was a moment where they were like showing these Ken dolls, and one Ken doll was called the Sugar Daddy, and like they had this moment where they're like, this is an actual Ken doll. This actually came out. Like there's no defending that. There was a older Ken doll who had like I think a pet called Sugar, and so he was the Sugar Daddy Ken or something like that. But yeah, like, they realized they had to make fun of themselves in order to just make everyone laugh, and I thought they succeeded in that. But yeah, I didn't know how the movie was going to go about. How when you hear about other movies in development, you're like, all right, cool, it's a hero movie or it's a comedy, and you kind of get what it's going to be about. You hear there's going to be a Barbie movie, you're like, I wonder what the hell they're going to do with that, It's it's like I remember when they made that Battleship movie based on the board game Battleship. Remember Rihanna was in that? There were like jokes about like if that became successful, what other board games would they start making movies about? Like Sorry and Connect 4 are gonna be like the new blockbuster movies, and if you hear that Connect 4 is gonna be like, look, they had Transformers and they had Battleship. One was a huge hit, one was not. You have to kind of start coming up with these. Look, Battleship, the board game, there was no plot to that. It was just, here are the rules, go play. Now you turn that into a movie, you're probably going to be like, what the fuck how are we going to do that? And, the idea of a bunch of ships battling each other on the sea, there's already a conflict there. All you got to write is why. It turned into some alien thing, if I remember correctly, which got really weird. But even with that board game, like there was still more built-in like story than Barbie. And they could have gone with like, a love story between Barbie and Ken, but it did not go that route at all. Yeah, I'm not going to go much more into it just because in case there's anyone out there that still hasn't seen it that wants to. I'm not going to, ruin any parts of it. But it did go in directions that even with all the publicity, like the clips and the trailers that I saw, it did still take it in a direction I wasn't really expecting. So I thought that was kind of cool. Is it the greatest movie ever? No, obviously not. But I'm glad that I saw it in theaters. I'm glad I was kind of part of this little Barbie wave. And I just really love seeing the weird people it pisses off. You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember that little tiny dude that got mad at like in a deli because he said that like women call him too short or something like that? And that no one swipes right on him on Tinder or something like that. And so he started yelling at women in the deli. I think they called him like bagel guy or something like that because he was buying a bagel. I bet you that guy hated the Barbie movie. And that's the energy I get. I've been told it's called small dick energy. There's a lot of small dick energy going on around. And if you were such a snowflake that you had to launch vitriol against the fucking Barbie movie, I'm guessing that's some small dick energy. And it makes sense that you're an incel. Stop acting like a snowflake. That's my advice. Oops. I wonder if Kid Rock saw the Barbie movie. Kid Rock is going to buy a Barbie poster and surround it with Bud Light and then just unload a clip while talking about how much he hates that. Bar with the bar to bring the bring. Set the boogie set up, jump the boogie. So yeah. Once again, shout out to Val for buying the tickets, and I don't want to say she forced me to go or made me go. I was excited to go to the movies. I was excited to see Barbie. I was excited to see Barbie. I wore my little Ken get up. It was nice. I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. I'm gonna wrap this one up. I think I'm all Barbied out. I think that I've talked about the snowflakes enough for this episode. And if you haven't seen Barbie, don't be afraid. Go see it. Why not? I'll see Oppenheimer too. Just not in theaters. I might, depending on how the paychecks look. Rent is coming up, but I might go see the Ninja Turtles movie in theaters. That might be my guilty pleasure of the summer. If Val's was Barbie, mine might be Ninja Turtles. I'm sure we both played with Barbies and Ninja Turtles. I mean, like, not, you know what I mean. It's our childhood. It's our youth. I heard something about this TMNT Mutant Mayhem experience in Union Square. It's supposed to wrap up on August 1st. So I'm going to try to hit that spot up. It's free. You can make reservations going to see if I go maybe Friday after work. Depending on what my schedule is, maybe I can try to get there on a Monday or Tuesday. And then the movie's out next week, right? Yeah. So I might do that. Look, as I got my little Michelangelo chilling right here. I do love me some Ninja Turtles. Barbie and Ninja Turtle movies, man. Childhood. That's all I've got for you guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Really do. Before I say goodbye to you guys, just be sure to rate and review the show wherever you can. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff. While you're at it, follow me. It's the same on all platforms at I'm Will Bryant. That's Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Spotify, Threads, all that stuff. 3 words at I'm Will Bryant, Bryant. This has been Big Kid with Will Bryant. Thanks for listening. Until next time, guys.